Errol Spence Jr. back training for Terence Crawford or whatever, whoever is next. Watch. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. You guys see Errol Spence getting that road work, and we're going to talk about that. So the clips I'm posting have been recently leaked. Errol Spence Jr., 10, 11 days outside of his fight with Yordenis Ugas. And Errol Spence, he already back in the gym. He's already back training. Now, could he be training for Terence Crawford? Absolutely. I made a video about this yesterday. Errol Spence putting that miles on the road. You know, he's hoodied down like a Rocky movie, like a Creed movie, and he's just getting to the money. You also seen the clips posted by his girl where he's in the gym and he's hitting the heavy bag. Now, if you guys remember and follow the situation, this is exactly what Derrick James said on the All Access epilogue. Derrick James told Errol Spence, and I quote, "Listen, you got to go back to the lab and make sure you don't lose your focus." Man, Derrick James is a savage. He says you got to go back to the lab, make sure you don't lose your focus. Bro, this was immediately after Errol Spence had a tour de force performance, and the crowd is going crazy. The hometown crowd, Arlington, he's from Dallas. So the Texas crowd is roaring and going crazy. And he's mic'd up on the All Access epilogue, which you guys can check out from Showtime Boxing. And the first thing out of his mouth is not like, "Oh man, you busted him up," or you did crazy. Man, I'm impressed. It's back to work. Oh my gosh. Bro, just the fact that Errol Spence has a trainer like this in his corner makes him more dangerous, because Errol Spence, he's the talent, he's the fighter. It's up to him to take the punches. It's up to him to throw the punches and hit, not get hit, the sweet science. But having a man like Derrick James who really cares about you and is so militant that he's not going to allow you to get too high or too low, and he's going to try his best to keep you in that perfect center. This needs to be celebrated. I was very impressed with this. This man said, go back to the gym and don't lose your focus. He knows what, you know, and I can't speak for Derrick James. I'm not him. But from an outsider, Ego, speaking to y'all and giving you my perspective of what I'm seeing from the outside looking in, I think Derrick James, he's not a real vocal person. Like, I never really seen Derrick James yell. I've interviewed him, been around him. You know, I never seen him like really get too animated. Like, he's just a pretty centered person. There's a picture he posted, again, if you follow the situation, on his social media, and he's like meditating. There's no one in the locker room, and it's peace and quiet. So that being said, that's a good guy to have, because I truly believe in yin yang. To make it short, in Asian culture, they believe in yin yang, right? And the yang is masculine energy. The yin is feminine energy. But what they preach and what they tell you in Asian cultures that believe in yin yang and Taoism and things like that is, with yin and yang, you need masculine energy and you need feminine energy. So therefore, it's makes a full circle, and it's two pieces divided. You don't want to have too much masculine energy, but then you don't want to have too little masculine energy. You want to have a perfect balance, or as centered and as perfect as possible. You know, it's just like they say in movies, good cop, bad cop. You can't have two cops acting like lunatics. You would have Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon, and he's like more level-headed, and then Mel Gibson is the hothead, and it just works perfectly. Or Rush Hour, buddy cop movies. You have Chris Tucker, and then he's the comedic relief and comedy relief, and then Jackie Chan is the martial artist and the more serious guy. Why would they not want my help? Because they don't give a damn about you. They don't like you. I don't like you. I don't care. I here for the girl. The girl don't like you. Nobody likes you. You came all this way for nothing. So you need that yin and yang is what I'm getting at. You know, just to give you guys a life example. In life, let's say you are a workhorse. You're an animal. And you work. You know, that's masculine energy. You putting in a bunch of aggression, nonstop work, super tunneled visioned in and focused. That's good, but it has to be regulated, because if you put in too much work and that's all you think about, you're going to miss precious time with family members or friends, or people move away, people pass away, and you dedicated your whole life to work. And you have nothing else to show for it. You have failed relationships. Your kids don't know who you are because you don't spend time with them, and or you run the risk of burnout where you burn yourself out, right? And if you need self-care, which is the more feminine self-care, that's the yin. Self-care, relaxation, massage, you know, a break, vacation, going to the beach, indulge, things like that. But if you did that nonstop and your whole life was a vacation, your whole life was eating out, you'd be morbidly obese, you'd be unmotivated, and your life would be completely chock full of just emptiness. You probably, your money wouldn't be managed because you're not being disciplined. So I'm telling you guys these things, these life lessons, the yin and the yang, because that's what I see. This is the dichotomy or the dynamic that I'm seeing with Derrick James and Errol Spence. Errol Spence is younger. Errol Spence, he's the one maybe more impressionable. He's the fighter actively, even though Derrick James used to box, and he has the aggression. But Derrick James is kind of like the Mr. Miyagi. So he's getting Daniel's son right, and he's making sure that even though you beat the out of Ugas and had his face looking all types of crazy, that you don't live in that. You know, you don't actually think you the man and then veer off to some of the things that set you back in your career, like the DUI and the car crash and gaining weight. Errol Spence, he's been on several interviews and podcasts, and Errol Spence had told you that there were times where he was upwards of 180, 190 pounds. So he's campaigning at 147, which is the welterweight division. So at the end of it, you don't want to veer. No fighter, at least throwback fighters, would tell you that it's better for you to go too high in your weight in your off season and have to lose 40, 50, 60, 1,000 pounds to make fights and to make weight in a small space of time. There's no fighter, there's no doctor or nutritionist that is going to tell you that's the right way. So I love this energy from Derrick James, and it's obviously rubbed off. He's telling Errol Spence, hey man, you good. Like, to me, this is about the most compliment that you're going to get from a Derrick James. From my perspective, this is about as good as it gets. So this is, some people are super direct and blunt, and some people are indirect. I think Derrick James is really, I can't speak for him, but my perspective, I think Derrick James loved the performance from the Ugas fight, and I think he was probably very happy as a coach and a trainer to see Errol Spence break a 500-day layoff, 497 days, and look that sharp, throw that many punches, land nearly 50% of his power shots. And I made a video about that. Speaking of my channel, in the last 30 days, in the month of March, I looked at the YouTube analytics. 50% of the people that watch my content subscribe. The other 50%, that means you guys watch the content on YouTube for free and you didn't subscribe. This enables me to reach more people who are looking for boxing, all things boxing, boxing news, views, points of views, all that good stuff. Help the cause. It's free. Worst case scenario, you can unsubscribe if I'm not dropping that heat at any time. But make sure you guys subscribe, share the video, engage, check out some of the other videos. At the end of this video, there'll be a video that YouTube believes you may be interested in. So make sure you guys check that out. and support the movement. 2022 is up. I promise. I feel good. I feel great. I feel sharp. Speaking of feeling sharp, Errol Spence, he looked sharp versus your Dennis Ugas. I really gave Ugas 1 round. Initially, it was 2 rounds, but I watched the replay, and Errol Spence did the thing, at the end of the day. So I like this from Derrick James. I like this from Errol Spence. He's keeping him on a straight and arrow. He's keeping him on the right path. Don't celebrate too crazy. Spend time with your kids, your family. Celebrate moderately. But if people want to see you fight Terence Crawford or whatever else is next, you got to stay sharp. So I love that. Go back to the lab, and that's what Errol Spence, that's exactly what he did. So he's heeding the instructions. I love when a fighter's listening to their corner and their corner's saying something worth a dang. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. I'm the best in the business. Subscribe to the channel. You're going to have fun here because I'm having fun. I love my job. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next videos, Ego signing off. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation.